If you've been exploring coastal North Carolina and you are wondering where you can still find affordable homes, quiet living, and easy access to the beaches, you've probably heard about places like Leland, Southport, or even Charlotte. But there's one small town that's quietly becoming one of the best kept secrets in the region, and that is Bolivia, North Carolina. Hey everyone, I'm Kevin Millard with eXp Realty, and in this video we are diving into the pros and cons of living in Bolivia, North Carolina. This is a place that's growing fast, but still keeps its peaceful, small town vibe. Today we're going to talk about the lifestyle, housing, schools, flood zones, new construction, and whether this could be the right fit for you. Where exactly is Bolivia, North Carolina? Bolivia is located in Brunswick County. It's about 30 to 35 minutes southwest of Wilmington. It's roughly 20 minutes inland from Oak Island and Holden Beach. Those are wonderful beaches. It's a small, mostly rural area surrounded by forest and farmland, but it's perfectly positioned between Wilmington to the north and South Carolina to the south. You can take Highway 17 straight into town, or you can jump over to the beach in under half an hour. Next up, a quick history and character about Bolivia. Bolivia is one of Brunswick County's oldest settlements, with roots that are dating back to the 1800s. It stayed small and rural for most of its history, and even now it has fewer than 200 residents within the town limits. But here is what is changing. Development is absolutely booming in this Bolivia area. You're going to find growing master plan communities nearby. Communities like Winding River, River C, and Avalon. Plus there's several brand new D.R. Horton and Polte neighborhoods that are sprouting up along Highway 17. So while Bolivia itself feels rural, the surrounding area is quickly becoming one of the next frontiers of Brunswick County growth. I just sold a house in Winding River Plantation. It was just an incredible house, and it was right on the river there, and it had a boat lift, a dock, I think it was around 4,500 square feet. This is just a huge house, and Winding River Plantation was just an absolutely beautiful neighborhood. Everything was just immaculate. It was gated. There were golf courses and tennis and all this stuff within the community. And I was like, I cannot believe this is Bolivia. I can't believe that I'm in Bolivia. And furthermore, after I met the buyers there, we had to go into Wilmington for the closing afterwards and everything. And the drive to Wilmington was just super easy. It's, I got on the highway, I set my cruise control, and before I knew it, I was in Wrightsville Beach to the attorney's office, and it was just perfect. And I thought, man, this is like, I would rather do that drive than many other drives in Wilmington, because it was just set it, forget it. And then you have the I-40 bypass, 140, which I just hopped right on as soon as I got to it, and it was just easy peasy. So I was like, man, maybe I will end up in Bolivia at some point. We will see. All right, let's talk about the pros and cons of living in Bolivia. Pro number one is affordable coastal living. Bolivia offers some of the most affordable homes within 30 minutes of the beach. It's really incredible to think, and I tell people this all the time, you can be within 30 minutes of the beach for $350,000, $400,000 in a nice brand new home if you're looking at new construction. And many of these new builders, I know the contacts there, and they are giving some incredible incentives right now. I just had a buyer get 3.99% on his loan. And then he had to end up moving houses, so with the next home, he got 4.99, all because the builder was buying down the rate. And many of these builders, I have contacts, and they're telling me they can do $5,000 towards closing, $10,000 towards closing, all these promotions. They'll throw in blinds, appliances, all this kind of stuff. So it's always worth to check, just give me a call, shoot me a text below. If you're interested in any of these deals, I'll get to looking and let you know what the current incentives are, because they're always changing. But it's just really, really cool to see that you can live so affordably near the beach. If you're gonna live here, if you're gonna move, you might as well live somewhere you really love, somewhere you want to enjoy your weekends and your time off. And that's really what southeastern North Carolina has to offer. All right, let's talk about the location. You're just minutes from major roads, but you're tucked away enough to really feel quiet. Bolivia sits between Wilmington, Charlotte, and Southport, which means that you're close to both big box shopping and small coastal towns. If you're thinking about commuting, Wilmington's about 35 minutes. Like I said, you get on the highway, you set it, you forget it. Oak Island, 25 minutes. Oak Island is incredible. Nice little pristine beach, Beautiful sandy beaches, beautiful water, nice people, great community, live music. I mean, all of it right there, 25 minutes to Bolivia. Southport, once again, incredible little fishing town. Movies have been filmed there. It's just a really great place to be, and that's only 20 minutes from Bolivia. So to just know that you're living in this place, especially if you're in a master plan community, you have golf, pickleball, tennis, a community built in to your neighborhood, and then you're only 20, 30 minutes from all these really incredible other places. It's just a no-brainer for a lot of people. This makes Bolivia ideal for retirees. It makes it ideal for remote workers and families who want to value the convenience of being close by all those places. Pro number 3 is peace, privacy, and nature. If you crave quiet, you're gonna love it here in Bolivia. Most of the homes sit on larger lots, and the roads are surrounded by pine forest. You can hear birds in the morning and see stars at night. That's something that is becoming harder to do in Leland or Wilmington. Now, often, I live in Wilmington, and often we'll go to the mountains and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how much light pollution we have at home until I'm in, complete darkness, and it's just absolutely perfect. You can still find that in places like Bolivia. All right, let's talk about pro number 4, access to golf, beaches, and waterways. Bolivia gives you easy access to everything coastal North Carolina is known for without the crowds. You're not having to deal with all that. So within 20 minutes, you can reach Winding River Plantation, who has their golf course, river house on Lockwood Folly River. You have Holden Beach or Oak Island if you want to go to the beach for the day. You have Southport Marina if you want to go boating, dining. Maybe you want to hop over to Bald Head Island, one of my favorite places on earth. You're just right there. So you can live in a affordable, home with a lot of great amenities and still be only 20, 30 minutes from places like Bald Head Island. It's absolutely incredible to me. If you like living in the country with the coast right there on your fingertips, then Bolivia, it really is for you. If all of this sounds interesting, if you're just kind of thinking, well, maybe we could make this work, being that close to Wilmington, being that close to the international airport, then give me a call, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. There is no pressure on my end. I am more than happy. I love just talking to people, just hear what you're thinking, kind of get an idea of, we're thinking about moving in a year, we're thinking about moving in 6 months, we're moving next month, we got to find a place. Whatever it is, I'll help you with your situation. We'll figure it out. I'll find you a good place, a good community that you like, that you feel at home with, and we'll take it from there, one step at a time. All right, let's talk about pro number 5. This is growth and future potential. Brunswick County has been one of the fastest growing counties in North Carolina for over a decade. And Bolivia is right there in that path of growth. Expect to see new retail, restaurants, and amenities move in as development continues to grow. Getting in Bolivia early, right now, could mean strong appreciation in the next 5 to 10 years. You're really kind of getting on that on-ramp, So something to consider if you want to be a part of an area that is still up and coming. Pro number 6 is low stress, laid back living. Bolivia moves at a slower pace. It's perfect for people who want a quieter lifestyle, whether that's retirement, remote work, or just stepping away from the rush and, all the stress of daily life. I talk to people all the time that want to move here from Nevada, the Northeast, Pennsylvania, these big cities, San Antonio, Florida, Miami, what they thought they were going to love with a lot of these big cities, maybe they did love for a season, and that's okay. And now they're saying, you know what? I'm ready to relax. I'm ready to just wake up, not even have to leave my neighborhood, and get to some really great amenities and great things, and make some friends, have some strong relationships, and just have it all right there. And I don't blame them, and I think you should definitely enjoy that phase of life. And if that's something I can help you do, I'm more than happy to do so. All right, let's talk about the cons of living in Bolivia, North Carolina. Con number 1 is limited local amenities. Bolivia doesn't have a ton of local options yet. There's no Target, there's no Walmart, there's no major grocery or restaurant hub within the town limits. Most people have to drive to Charlotte, Southport, or Leland if you want to do that kind of shopping. Now, Leland does have a lot of places, so that's where your Walmart, your Harris Teeter, that's our grocery store, a Lowe's, Home Improvement, all that stuff right there in Leland. Now, if convenience is a big priority, that might be a drawback for you, so that's something to consider. Con number 2, growing pains. Like other developing areas, you're going to see construction. That means new roads, utilities, and housing phases that are expanding. That means some noise, some dust, and some change, especially near Highway 17. But these improvements usually lead to better services long term. So, you can't have growth without some growing pains at times. All right, let's talk about con number 3, and that's internet and utility access. Not every part of Bolivia has fiber internet yet. Major providers like AT&T and Spectrum are expanding, but coverage still varies. If you work from home, always verify before buying. One thing that I love to do is whenever I'm showing a house to someone, just bring out your cell phone. They already live in our hand, don't they? You pick it up, hey, do I have any bars? Let me make a phone call. Can they hear me? Is this a dead area? I mean, that's very important for a lot of people. And there are some workarounds, as long as you can get Wi-Fi, now you can make Wi-Fi calls, or, your phone will automatically switch to Wi-Fi. But it's just something to think about, something you don't want to be stuck with. All right, let's talk about con number 4, which is flood zones and storm preparation. Although Bolivia sits inland, parts near the creeks and the rivers can still fall into flood zones. Always check the FEMA maps and insurance estimates, especially if you're close to the Lockwood Folly River Basin. Con number 5, rural environment. Bolivia is peaceful, but it's still country living. Expect longer drives, more yard work, bugs, wildlife. It's part of the charm, but it's not for everybody, so you have to consider that. All right, let's talk about commute times. The trade-off for peace is distance. Commuting into Wilmington can take 35 to 45 minutes depending on traffic. If you need to be in the city every day, that's something to factor in. But with that being said, I tell people all the time, traffic is relative. Because if you're from Wilmington like me, I used to be able to get to Monkey Junction in 15, 20 minutes. Now I give myself 35, 45, and that's like in the middle of the day. But people that are moving here, they're used to driving an hour to work, 2 hours to work. You know what I mean? And so you can't just say, oh, traffic has gotten so bad or traffic is terrible there. Compared to what? It's all relative. So for some people, to get to Wilmington in 30 minutes is just what they're already used to. So it's something to think about, but also take it into consideration based on what you are used to doing in your everyday life. All right, let's talk about who Bolivia is perfect for. Bolivia is really ideal for retirees that are seeking space, peace, and proximity to the beaches. It's great for remote workers that are wanting affordability with strong resale potential. It's good for families that are looking for new builds and lower taxes. People are always surprised at our taxes down here. It's also good for investors that are betting on Brunswick County's ongoing growth. Maybe you want to find a place that you can Airbnb, or you just want to find a second home and you're going to let it sit there. Maybe it's a long-term rental, but it's definitely something to look for. Now, Bolivia is not ideal for people who need instant access to shopping or nightlife. It's not a downtown Wilmington. It's not the center of Wilmington. But if your dream is quiet, affordable coastal living, then Bolivia delivers. Once again, if you need help exploring the areas all around Wilmington, please get my relocation guide. It really helps give you a good idea of the different areas, and there's a lot of great content in there. In closing, Bolivia, North Carolina is one of those rare places that still feels untouched, but not for long. You're close enough to the coast to dip your toes in the sand whenever you want, but you're far enough inland to have space, peace, and affordability. So for me, I think it's really a perfect combination. For the right person, this might be the coastal Carolina sweet spot, and to me, I think it definitely is. If this video has helped you get a feel for Bolivia, please hit like and tap subscribe. Maybe drop a comment below. Would you choose peace and space over the beach town hustle, or do you want to be in the middle of all the action? Once again, don't forget to download my free relocation guide at the link below. I'm Kevin Millard with eXp Realty. Thank you for watching today, and remember, love where you live. I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.